In 1587, 117 men, women, and children arrived in the New World. They came to build a future and establish a permanent English colony. 3 years later, they were gone. There were no bodies, no ruins, and no signs of violence. Only one word carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. More than 400 years later, no one knows what truly happened. This is the mystery of the Lost Colony of Roanoke. In the late 1500s, England was eager to expand its power. Spain had already built a vast empire across the Americas, and England wanted its share. Under the sponsorship of Sir Walter Raleigh, a group of settlers sailed across the Atlantic Ocean. Their destination was Roanoke Island, located in what is now North Carolina. The colony was led by John White, an artist and mapmaker. Among the settlers was his pregnant daughter, Eleanor Dare. Shortly after arriving, she gave birth to a baby girl named Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. Despite this hopeful beginning, the colony struggled from the start. Supplies were limited, food was scarce, and relations with nearby Native American tribes were uncertain. The settlers depended heavily on shipments from England in order to survive. Soon after arriving, the colonists realized they needed more supplies. They asked John White to return to England and bring back food and equipment. He agreed, promising to come back as quickly as possible. However, when White reached England, war had broken out. The Spanish Armada threatened invasion, and all available ships were ordered to defend the country. White was forced to wait. Months turned into years. He repeatedly tried to secure passage back to Roanoke, but England's military emergency delayed him. It was not until 1590, 3 years after he left, that he finally returned to the colony. When White arrived at Roanoke, something felt wrong. There was no smoke rising from cooking fires and no sign of movement. The settlement was silent. The houses were gone, but they had not been burned or destroyed. They had been carefully dismantled. There were no signs of struggle, no broken weapons, and no human remains. It appeared as though the colonists had simply packed up and left. Then White discovered something carved into a wooden post, the word Croatoan. Nearby, the letters C-R-O were carved into a tree. Before leaving England, White had agreed with the settlers that if they relocated, they would carve a message to indicate where they had gone. If they were in danger, they would carve a cross. There was no cross, only the word Croatoan. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island and also the name of a Native American tribe friendly to the English. White believed the colonists may have moved there for safety. He wanted to search immediately, but a violent storm struck the coast. The ship's crew refused to remain in the dangerous waters, and White was forced to leave. He never returned to Roanoke, and no organized rescue mission ever found the missing settlers. Over the centuries, historians have proposed several theories. One theory suggests that the settlers peacefully joined the Croatoan tribe and gradually integrated into the local population. Some later reports described Native Americans with gray eyes or European features, which fueled this idea. However, no solid evidence has confirmed it. Another theory suggests famine. The colony was already struggling with food shortages, and the settlers may have left in search of better land, but failed to survive the journey. Disease is another possibility. The New World was unfamiliar and harsh, and infections combined with malnutrition could have slowly wiped out the group. Some believe violence played a role, either from hostile tribes or even Spanish forces seeking to eliminate the English presence. However, no physical evidence supports a massacre. What makes the Roanoke mystery so unusual is the complete lack of remains. In most historical disasters, something is left behind: weapons, Graves, burned structures, or written records usually provide clues. At Roanoke, there was almost nothing. It was as if 117 people had stepped out of history without leaving a trace. Archaeologists have searched the region for centuries. Excavations have uncovered tools, pottery fragments, and traces of settlement activity, but no definitive answer. No mass graves, no final message, no clear explanation. The Lost Colony of Roanoke remains one of the oldest unsolved mysteries in American history. Did the settlers assimilate into a nearby tribe? Did they starve or fall to disease? Were they attacked? Or did something else happen entirely? More than 400 years later, the silence remains, and the word Croatoan continues to echo through history as a clue that was never fully understood.